Hey, what's up? This is Age of the Geek 89. I was signing in to tell you guys that I recently, as of tonight, rewatched the pilot episode of iZombie. Man, I love that show. The way that show starts off with the flashback format, you seeing how Liv used to be whenever she was a resident, how bubbly, full of life, and energetic she is. You see the love attachment between her and her ex, Major, now ex, then her fiance, because of his desire to have her accepted by her peers and them actually reaching out and giving her an olive branch, she agrees to go to this boat party with them. As a result of that party, she gets turned into a zombie. You find out later on exactly how that happens, but she's basically turned into a zombie. Show picks up 6 months later, where you meet Liv. She's working as a medical examiner for the city morgue, and you meet her boss. Her boss is very funny, very witty, very semi sarcastic, um, and he's always been. Even when you first meet him, you see these subtle hints that he's dropping certain references, and he walks in on her basically eating a brain because she's a zombie, so she has to eat brains to sustain herself, and she does it in very unique ways. The way she did it in this episode is she basically cooked ramen, took a brain, put the brain in the ramen, and ate it. And he happened to walk in on it, had some questions, started running some tests because of the brain she because of the brain she ate. The new detective comes into the city morgue to try and find out more information about this Jane Doe. She happened that was the brain that she ate. She ate Jane Doe's brain. And whenever a zombie eats brains, they get these things called visions. So she has a vision, gives some semi-relevant information about who the deceased was. Uh, the way they play it off is you find out the the deceased Jane Doe basically told the cops that she told them that she was Lady Gaga. In so many words, she gave Gaga's real name as her name to pass it off. Um, so whenever Detective Babineau goes back to his superior and he tells him, "Hey, I need you to find this Slavana woman," they all laugh and they start making Lady Gaga references because it was Gaga's real name. As the episode goes on, you find out that it's more than just visions that Liv gets. By her eating the brain of a deceased person, she also takes on some of the traits, some of their characteristics, such as in this one, she learns how to speak Romania, as well as she becomes a slight klepto. And you see where her relationship is with her family and friends 6 months later by her being the zombie compared to how it was at the beginning of the start of this episode. Also, this journey that she goes on with Clive, she discovers that there is something to live for. Her life does have a purpose. It's not completely meaningless, and she slowly begins to accept the fact that she's a zombie, not hate it, not just want to not be there for anyone. Her boss also tells her that he's planning on running these tests so that he can possibly try and find a cure because he believes that her zombieism, I believe that's the word, um, that her zombieism could be cured. He believes that it's a plague or it's a virus, but there's a possible cure for it. Uh, Overall, the show ends on a good note. She's very happy. She sleeps, and then she has a nightmare of potentially the zombie who turned her into the zombie that she is. And I say that because whenever you watch the opening of the show, the zombie that's shown at the very end of that episode, the zombie that's shown at the end of the pilot episode is the same one who sort of creeps by her in the opening credits. So I love how they set that up. Um, Once again, this is just my review, my thoughts about iZombie season one, episode one. Can't really give any predictions because I am already on season three. Well, really, as of tomorrow, season four, episode one. But let me know what you think. If you watch the show too, please drop notes in the comments. If you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy.